Hello everyone, Ryan here again from the American Tribune on YouTube, and today we are here with our second debate on the Republic of Discord. Today we have our guest, the former owner of the Republic of Discord, MCO5. We have Blatman, the same Blatman from yesterday, Linnaeus, and Swordmeister, one of the current owners of ROD. Michael, Blatman, and Linnaeus, Swordmeister, can you say hello within that order? And briefly, say your political beliefs and etc.
Hello, I'm Michael. I'm Central Right. That's my glorious, very long and descriptive blurb, I guess. That's it. Bye.
Thank you. All right. Blatman, what are your beliefs?
I am communist. There.
No. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. uh, Linnaeus, what about you?
Howdy, radical centrism.
Oh, radical centrism. Okay. What about you, Sword?
I am the clear social democracy.
Social democracy. All right. This should be an interesting discussion. All right. So our first. All right. So everyone here is American, right? Except Sword. All right.
Oh, I'm
No,
Mexican.
Sword is. So I don't think Sword is American.
Yes,
All right. Yeah.
I am way too boring for that. Yeah.
All right, so our first topic of discussion will be the Ukraine situation. Specifically, do you think that Putin will invade Ukraine? And if so, do you think another global conflict will start from this?
Of course.
Why do you think that Ukraine will be invaded by Putin?
From what I've heard, he's trying to put back together the Soviet Union, and it's a key part of that. Great roots and all that. And I think, whatever it's called, global conflict will break out because we've already got troops from all over NATO in there already. So if he invades, you know, troops from all sides of Europe are gonna die.
Would anyone like to comment on that?
I do. I think Putin will actually invade Ukraine. I just don't think NATO's going to do anything to risk an all-out war. Because when Russia wants something, they're going to take it.
Well, so are there any here who believe that Putin will not invade Ukraine then?
I don't believe that Putin will actually invade Ukraine because, like, we all say that he has like a large army on the border, but that's like 100,000 soldiers. Keep in mind that like Saddam needed like 400,000 soldiers in order to actually invade fucking Kuwait, and Kuwait is as big as Luxembourg. So you gotta understand that this is not enough troops to actually invade, and that's probably not even his goal, considering all the drama around it. Most of the goal is actually properly to cause an economic crisis in Ukraine that will probably later on devolve into a larger situation that will probably gain him more control over the nation.
I see. Interesting. Would any of our pro-invasion, or rather, invasion prospectors like to comment on that?
Really fair point. Didn't think of it like that.
What about you, Blatman?
I really just think Putin's trying to start the USSR again. There's a lot of evidence pointing to that. Plus, he's also former KGB.
That's
Okay,
true.
but you gotta understand the thing that there's no you don't need to actually invade to form the USSR. You gotta understand that's a whole nation of people who actually hate Russia, and the fact that Russia's invading them, he cannot even control the nation properly, even with a fucking billion troops in. So it's just not viable, the whole situation.
They go back to like the Soviet Union, start executing civilians by sending them off to labor camps.
This isn't how it realistically works. Like
Yes, but
that's
it
not even
is
his goal.
what they could do.
Like you gotta already understand that there's like a massive economic crisis coming in for Ukraine because all the people are just traveling outside the nation, companies are not going to invest in the nation, and that all together can combine into a major economic crisis. And it will probably happen. And it's happening right now, combined with the COVID crisis that's probably affecting the whole world. It's gonna affect Ukraine much more.
Yeah.
You're
Oh, my bad. Were you going to say something, Linnaeus?
No, thank you. I mean, no.
All right. So yeah, I actually do agree with Sword Peppy here. I just because from what we saw with taking Crimea, which is a although very strategic location, is a really small chunk of land compared to the whole of Ukraine. And well, we saw that Russia dealt with massive repercussions after that. And honestly, like if they kept going right after Crimea, it would have I mean, they could have gone more into Crimea. They had the hard power to do that. But the thing is, Putin well knew that there would be huge retaliation against him if he actually did went and, well, went after more than Crimea in that situation. And again, NATO's hard power combined, or even while the United States is alone, is more than enough to combat and deter Russia. And I don't think Russia, or Putin rather, would be willing to take that chance of having a massive Western coalition against him in return for such a drastic measure of trying to take over Ukraine. And like Sword Peppy says, there are only around 100,000 troops on the Ukrainian border. That's nowhere near enough for a full takeover. Would
So I
anyone?
gotta add in like there's the point of like Crimea. When they invaded Crimea, there was no like a massive show, like warnings and a troop mess up. They just did it all at once, and that was when they actually wanted to invade. Now when they in the situation that we have right now, they're just making a massive advertisement campaign like a form of it, which you can see it's not really a normal thing if you really want to invade by surprise. Doesn't really give you any strategic value to it. It's probably because they don't even want to.
There is the Baltic Sea trade route, but I'm not sure how important that would be. It could just be a test, but with China, I'm guessing China would want him to invade. Hmm.
China has very little to do with the situation at hand, even though people
Well,
are pointing at it,
Well,
like Taiwan.
well,
they're basically doing the same thing.
with the Baltic Sea trade idea is the only reason why that would probably be not a good idea to do is because, as shown in the past, the U.S. would bring like a their navy up there, block off trade. So there's no point of that.
Well, don't underestimate the Russian fleet, because the Russians actually have quite a strong fleet. They have one of the biggest battleships in the world, so the fleet
Yeah, but
nothing to joke with.
first of all, battleships aren't really,
Yes, yes,
nobody
they're
uses
not
battleships anymore. Let's be honest. Second
yes,
of
but
all,
still, they're actually much more than enough to defend their shores. They know they don't need to make some
not against the
large
American fleet.
fleet attacks and stuff like
Absolutely
that. They
not
just need
against
to
the
defend the
American fleet.
shores.
They don't have the power projection or just the hard power navy wise
See, and
that
here's the
America does.
thing: that they won't actually even attack. America won't actually attack Russia, even if Russia was to take over all of Ukraine, because they cannot risk a whole world war on the
Well,
other end of the world
I'd just like
just for a
to
small nation.
bring up a point. We're speaking of Russian annexation of Ukraine and Russian interference in Ukraine as if only one of them can happen. I mean, as if one happens, then the other happens. Like nothing says that Russia can't just if they do attack Ukraine, nothing says that Russia just not annex half of Ukraine and only set up. All they'll do is set up a puppet regime in the east. Like seems much more likely.
Yeah, I'm
I
actually
That
mean, why
probably can
would
actually happen, although it's probably going to lead to an annexation, if you ask me, at least to the eastern or northern part.
I mean,
But as soon as they
Putin did
they have
attack,
whatever.
if Putin did attack, I don't think there's a chance in hell.
But that's quite as much equal to invading the nation. So, to actually achieve that, they would need to invade the nation.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think it's for sure that they're going. I mean, they've done this before, and Vito did bring up a good point. So if they were going to invade, they wouldn't give the Western powers time to put together a coalition and then ring the bell of alarm. Right? They just attack.
And still, keep in mind that the Russians just know that there won't actually be any retaliation if they were to attack Ukraine. Because there's already nations like Germany who are not really willing to intervene as a whole. Because keep in mind, Russia has a massive impact on the economy of the whole European nations, and mainly Germany, with the massive imports and exports of oil, which can massively impact the energy supply through all of Europe.
Well,
They
that's
can
only
basically
because of
they can just pull the shelter, and all the nations are
yeah.
going
Well,
to
Could I actually ask
not have
really quick?
electricity. Mhm.
So yeah,
yeah.
so nobody, absolutely nobody wants total war because total war would mean, well, mutually assured destruction because of the nuclear arsenals of of Western Europe alone, and Russia would be enough to cause global catastrophe. And not just that, like Sword Peppy mentioned, the economic repercussions that could happen from such a war would also be detrimental. I think Putin's goal here, so I think personally Putin's goal here is to take as much as he can in as short a period of time with as little repercussion as possible. And the West's goal obviously is to prevent and deter Putin from making any such action against Ukraine, to limit his expansion. And honestly, we see that with the media and how much Western media has been trying to inflate and bring attention to this crisis in order to show, hey, the West actually at least somewhat cares about this right now, which is pretty ironic considering from what I've read a lot in a number of articles, Ukrainians are actually far more concerned regarding domestic issues rather than Russian interference at the moment, which I find pretty interesting but have yet to dive further deep into.
Well, I don't really think they care as much as if they really care about anything, they're gonna think about, okay, what if happens if Russia actually does invade us, then gets pushed out? Will we have, or something like happening to what Germany had after World War II? Would we all get fucked over, or would we be all fine? Nope.
Yeah, I mean, would anyone? Oh, I just realized
Well, I
that.
mean, I don't think Russia invading Ukraine is very comparable to. I'd compare it to the Russian invasion of Afghanistan.
Yeah, like the Russian invasion of Ukraine is just as likely as China invading Taiwan. It could happen, but at the moment it's pretty unlikely. The U.S. and
Wait, you mean
No,
likely?
I would argue. I would argue that the Russian invasion of Ukraine is more likely than China.
uh,
Taiwan actually matters to the West because of semiconductor production. There's no way that the West will let Taiwan fall.
yeah. Then again, I don't think the West would gladly let Russia expand into Ukraine as well because, well, you
That's true. That's true. But
But
both
to not risk a war.
strategically though, the West doesn't. The West, Ukraine is not critical to the interests of the West.
it may not. Taiwan is not necessarily very critical to strategic interests in the potential outbreak of war or economic conflict. However, it is a matter of power projection. If the West can prove that they are able to prevent Russian expansion into Ukraine, or likewise Chinese expansion into Taiwan, then they can prove that the West is able to contain these threats to their dominance within the world.
No, actually, I would argue that Taiwan is incredibly to Western strategic interests because first we have to recognize that intrinsically Western strategic interests are tied in with its corporations, and really Taiwan's semiconductor production is critical to American industry and Western industry at large. There's and also let's not mention that unlike Ukraine, Taiwan is in a defensible position. It has a U.S. carrier group between it and the mainland. It's an island. I just think that a Chinese invasion of Taiwan within near future is incredibly unlikely, even more so unlikely than Putin invading Ukraine.
So
Actually, more likely.
even if China wants to attack Taiwan, you got to keep in mind that for America to actually defend Taiwan, they actually need to identify it as a real country, which is also a thing of
Not
its own.
do.
necessarily.
They do,
They
and that's
will. They
why we're
will.
all
I'd
freaking
say
out.
they will.
Oh,
If
they will.
China
have.
They believe me,
yeah,
they will. If that's like a massive break in
if
relations,
China
they
invades
will not
Taiwan,
risk a world war all over Taiwan.
if China invades Taiwan, the carrier group will stop the Chinese fleet, or at least will attempt to. I feel like the Americans won't abandon Taiwan. Ukraine is a whole different matter.
The thing about Taiwan is really that China will actually be able to take it. They are actually they're soon going to be able to
I completely
surpass the
disagree. I
US as
completely disagree. No. China will not be would
Hey,
not be able to take
hey,
it.
I
That is
apologize, but
completely.
in order to keep this debate as organized as possible, since I do hope to upload this onto YouTube, I'd prefer if Bladman finished his point first. Thank you.
well. But right now, the US is actually losing um, technology superiority because the US has not got hypersonic missiles yet, but China does. And they're increasingly growing their military and all that. Plus, Russia is also doing that. But also, Russia has their own problems. That's probably a reason why they're going to try to invade Ukraine. But I think at some point in time, Russia and China are just going to invade Taiwan and Ukraine. So, and the U.S. won't do anything because they don't want to start a whole major conflict.
The United States will risk starting a whole major conflict if Taiwan is invaded.
Yeah, like I don't think the United States.
If Taiwan is invaded,
Can I give my opinions on this?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, listen, dude. All right, if China invades Taiwan, let me tell you how that's gonna go. Okay, they like to talk their shit and whatnot. Okay, all America has to do, even if they take over the island, just blockade them, bro. Cut off their oil, cut off their exports, and watch their entire economy just collapse.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily as simple as that, but I think the United States.
I think it is pretty simple. Listen, all right. I'm just talking about how China's going to be a new world superpower. I highly disagree. Maybe they'll get it for like, I don't know, 20, 30 years.
China, hold on.
Hey, hold on.
China will be a world
Let General
superpower.
finish first.
China will not be the world superpower.
Yeah, wait, Michael. Let General.
Come on, General interrupted me. Come on, let's do that.
A bunch of problems. Their demographics are screwed up. All right, they have a water crisis coming in. Their social security system's gonna fucking collapse within, I don't know, give it like 30 years. Like maybe for the short term, yeah, maybe they'll become a superpower. Long term, no. That's why they're acting really aggressive now. And as Americans, we should be defending Taiwan at all costs. And even if they take it over, it wouldn't be hard to beat China. Until nukes get involved.
To be fair, I actually have to intervene with this. China, it really isn't that simple with China. Not just because in a total war with China, sure, navally it'd be a little simple.
Yeah, listen, I'm just going to say this. We are not ever going to actually invade China. It's not going to happen. It's too costly. We would not win that war. It would just turn into a battle of attrition and trying to cut off the other from economic supplies and stuff, which is more important than ever considering our massive globalized system.
Okay, well, I'm going to be honest here. If China and America went to war and if it progressed to the point where the United States was blockading China's ports, the entire global economy would have already collapsed.
Oh, listen, the entire global economy would have already been collapsed at this point, okay?
And then the question at that point would be, is the American people willing to sustain an extended war with the Chinese if their quality standard of life will be significantly impacted? And I think the answer is no.
Listen, Michael. At that rate, it's not going to matter anymore. All right, it won't matter anymore. And listen, us Americans, all right, we still got a bunch of shit over here. Yeah, it might suck for like 10 years, but we'll figure our shit out. We've done it before in the past.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to say this. You mentioned the contingency of China actually landing in Taiwan and taking it. In that case, I think we've already lost. There's no chance. All right. Really, the key here is if America can stop Chinese troops from landing in Taiwan at all. Right?
Michael, it's really that simple.
No, because America won't want to prolong the war that long. Right? America won't want to escalate to that point.
Why wouldn't it? They just invade Taiwan.
Yeah,
because it would significantly impact their daily citizens' standard of life due to
not as much as it would to the Chinese, bro. Listen, how it would probably go just that we'd be like, listen, I'm blockading your shit whenever you leave Taiwan.
All right, definitely debatable.
Can I say something real quick?
What's up?
This is off topic, but why is everybody joining and trying to get onto stage?
Because everyone wants to go.
General here. Me and General are here. That's why. Me and General.
Me and Michael are here. We're a really entertaining bunch.
It's more because I DM'd way too many people to join. When it was.
God damn it, Ryan!
All right, General. Let's continue our shit throwing session.
Yeah, fucked up.
Oh yes, of course.
actually, hold on, wait. Okay, so I'm actually gonna have to kind of get my fucking host stick, in place here to prevent, this becoming a little bit too chaotic. All right, so I really appreciate if you could respect that. All right, Michael and General.
Well, I'd like to at least wrap up
Yeah,
my
yeah,
conversation
Michael.
general here.
All right. Sure. I'll let you both get
God
one
damn.
word in, starting with the coin flip. Do you pick
Listen,
heads or tails, Michael? Do you pick heads
Listen,
or
General,
tails?
go. General, just go.
All right,
all
sure.
right, listen, all I'm saying is that yes, America has its problems, but China has plenty more, and they're the Communist Party. Obviously, they're not going to talk about them. But everyone likes to say, oh, our democracy is weak, but we can at least adapt, bro, right? China and their stupid communist policies have really screwed their nation over, all right? Their population is expected to half by the end of the century. I don't believe these guys are going to be the next power. I don't even think they'll even have the power to take over Taiwan. If they did, they're going to get screwed over because of it. I do not
Say
think
one thing.
Americans are going to be like, hey, bro, you can go conquer whoever you want. That makes us look weak to our allies. Why would anyone be allies with us if we're not going to protect our allies we have already?
I mean, I guess that feeds into my point. I don't think China will invade Taiwan. I think the West will let.
Oh, probably not.
But I disagree with you saying that it's not that bad, all right? And really,
Listen,
we see the
Michael,
same thing happening.
so every problem America has, all right, China has worse problems going on. You know what happened to Japan, Michael? You know the tale of Japan? What happened to them? Because that's on what China's about it too. But at least in Japan's credit, they had a bunch of money starting off, and they were a very developed
Wait,
nation
hold on,
on track.
hold on.
I mean,
Actually,
you see the
wait,
same thing happening.
wait, hold on. I'm actually going to have to interfere in this. Japan was in a way worse position to expand than China. The thing is, China is a natural superpower. They have a huge
No,
population.
I'm not
China has the same. I agree. China has a similar geography to the
social
U.S.
security systems. That's what I'm referring to here. And China's birth rate is probably, I think, lower than Japan's, or it's really low. It's close to that.
I mean, either
And
way,
I don't know.
I mean, that
What?
doesn't change the fact that more than 10% of the world is Chinese in terms of population. Like, that's still
Well,
3
I am going
times
to say
more
that
than
it's
the
going
United
to
States.
significantly change
I
by the
mean,
end of the century.
I just like to say the Chinese birth rate is actually equivalent to the.
Is what?
It's actually equivalent to the American birth rate, and holding steady.
No, it's like I believe it's in like
No,
the
they're both
one
1.70.
range.
I
They're
mean,
both 1.70.
yeah,
You're free to look it up.
both
Yeah,
1.7.
listen, that's not good, all right. And if we really want to get into it, America's a very wealthy country. So when all these people start retiring, then, it's whatever. I will figure something out. It's going to be a lot worse for the Chinese, though. They are not,
No,
they have significantly grown, don't get me wrong, but their average GDP per capita is still only like
Average
10,000.
GDP per capita just represents GDP over population. Doesn't really represent the overall wealth
But
of a country.
the point is that
I
while
would
yes,
argue
the
that
Chinese they've certainly experienced immense economic growth. It is not going to be enough for when all these people start retiring and there's not enough people to pay for these people retiring in their
same
social
argument
security
could be
system.
made for the United
the
States,
same
though.
thing's happening with the
Well,
U.S.
certainly, yes.
Honestly,
Don't get me wrong. This is a problem that affects many nations, but it's going to be less worse for some and more worse for others, and it's going to hit China particularly bad
And why do
I
you think
don't
it'll
think
hit
it'll
China
really hit.
harder than the
because
United
they are
States?
not. China's not a developed country, all right. Well, yes, they're certainly wealthy, all right.
Well, they're
They are
well,
pretty
that's
developed.
arguable. That's
Like,
arguable. They are pretty developed
Okay.
nowadays.
yeah, like
You
they're
know, it would
Can,
have
we,
been
can I get
different.
something to say?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let me get something to say. So
It's a weird
General,
Country
can you let him
now.
talk? General, can you
let me speak, because this is the thing that most people don't understand. China is developed in the fact of they actually have most of the world trade in their pocket. If you look at anything in your household, if you're in America, you might find you'll find like more than enough things that said made in China. Plus they are the second, but they're also the second most powerful nation in the world that is ranked. In 2020, they were number 3. Now they're number 2. And the U.S. is saying number 1.
What metric are you using here? Is the
No, listen.
those
When it
rankings
comes
are
This is
down
what
to
actually
Google said.
well, General, please.
America, like China can.
Yeah, General, if you keep doing that, I might actually have to server mute. So please. Yeah. So Bladman, could
No, not China.
All right, so
Listen, I think we could.
those metrics are very not objective. They're very subjective to opinion. In fact, they are basically just ranked in opinion because everyone has different weightings of what's more important to a country's overall ranking.
This is what Google said.
Speaking of
it does.
opinion, in mine, although I don't personally think either China or America is going to completely collapse.
He just got shot. He shot
I-
Michael.
Wait.
I think the U.S. is
Wait,
going to
I
collapse
didn't
soon
hear
because of
both of them.
fucking. I didn't either.
All right, wait, Blemmin, I just go.
Bring back MCO.
Yeah, bring back
Oh,
Michael.
no,
Michael.
The disrespect.
I fucking put it back in.
The
On accident.
disrespect. Who's doing this?
Disconnecting people.
Okay.
The
I
disrespect.
accidentally put him back in.
The absolute
Goddamn.
Yeah,
disrespect.
someone's messing with their perms. Hold on, I'm gonna go.
The absolute
I accidentally did it.
You know-
I was trying to bring him back in.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
some more
Stalin.
nonsense. If some more shenanigans occur, Walker might have to Walker's
Can
gonna
you
show
go
up.
please, please?
You know, and you don't want to see Walker.
So
Yo, hold up.
I'm-
Who the fuck made my name General
Okay.
Furry Suited?
I already have Copeless pulled out. So.
okay.
All right.
So,
Can I continue?
Yeah, you can continue.
All right. So speaking of opinion, although I don't think China or America will be the most affected by this like looming demographic crisis, which will eventually happen to every country, assuming current projections continue. I feel like we're missing the big thing here. We're already seeing it happen to Europe, and I think it's going to hit Europe the absolute worst. Right.
Yeah.
Let's consider that 50% of Spain's youth is unemployed. 50%. That would be people from ages 18 to I think 30.
It goes up to like 60,
Yeah,
Michael.
Europe from a purely geographical and perspective, it's only because of the colonial and industrial eras where that Europe became this wealthy. Quote unquote naturally, this wasn't supposed to happen, and Europe is seeing this now that the non-colonial nations that are sort of natural superpowers are also catching up technologically and in development.
Yeah, we need to consider that geographically, the two greatest countries to beat geographically are America as number one, and number two is China. We just need to consider that.
Oh, certainly. I mean, there's a reason China was
Geographically,
the
no.
dominant power. for-
Geographically, absolutely. Are you? Which one are you? Oh, wait, who removed?
Well, listen.
Alright,
When it
all right,
comes down
all right,
to
listen,
it, down
Alright,
to
Sword
Wait a
Peppy.
second.
All right, wait, hold on. Sword Peppy, I'm gonna need you to remove Stalin's perms. Thank you.
damn.
Stalin. Who the fuck put me in? Put me down.
Yeah, it's Stalin.
Ryan, I'm gonna use my.
I'm going to assume that he was
my phone.
contesting me saying America has good geography, unless he's talking about China.
I don't think no one should be arguing. America literally has the best geography you could possibly have. It is surrounded by weakness.
No.
All right, it's blessed with every natural resource you could possibly want. All right,
Actually,
you know-
really, no. If you are like Tibet and like
massive farmlands, a massive population, all things considered. Like America's geography is easily number one, and two.
Well, I mean, yeah.
All right. So we're moving way past point.
Yeah. I don't
So,
even know.
We'll
we
be
should
moving.
move
We'll be
away
moving
from
on
this
to the next
conflict.
topic, but first, a word from our sponsor, from
my.
Doulant.
Uh-huh.
So Doulant is Doulant is a wonderful state within the Republic of Discord and has been a
I would
sponsor for
rather
the.
you plug. I would rather
All right,
plug
Mike.
the American.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
All right,
MCL,
can
shut
you-
Ryan,
both of you
Ryan,
shut
that's
the
not
fuck
how you
up.
do segues.
Yeah.
Let him
Ryan,
talk
that's
about the
not how you do
Chad say of
segues.
Doulant.
Yeah.
Fuck the student state of Dulon.
I remember
Okay.
when
Bowling
Durant
again.
like wasn't communist. Those were good times, fun
Alright,
times.
can
Those
y'all
were.
please shut the fuck
Sir,
up?
the communist Dolan is the most active state
Alright,
in the
so
Republic. Will we find it?
Doulant. So
Right.
Doulant
It's
has
also the
actually,
most active.
yeah, Doulant has
Run.
actually helped the American Tribune very much and has actually been a supporter of these debates. So again, the Serene Republic of Doulant. You can find it in the affiliates channel within the Republic of Discord, and it is a very wonderful place, and I recommend you check it out. So thank you from our sponsors.
I'm just waiting.
Thank you to our sponsors, and now let us continue to our next point within this debate: the vaccine.
Ryan, I got a question.
Yeah, of COVID vaccine and mask mandates.
Oh God! Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
This is gonna be the worst one because I think everybody's gonna agree on it.
gonna say this: if you're gonna talk about this is not going to get like recommended on YouTube for anyone, Amulian.
Hold on, gentlemen.
You
Can
can't
we,
talk about COVID.
hold on, gentlemen,
Oh, shit, we're gonna get
hold on,
some
gentlemen. May I begin with a point? Do we actually have any
Yeah.
proof that COVID exists? I mean,
Stop it! Stop
I
it!
swear, I will
Stop it
fucking
immediately.
remove MC off and starts fucking talking about that shit.
is there actually any proof here? Like, come on, guys. And while we're
That's like
at it,
saying
while we're at it,
Trump is not orange. He is fucking orange.
you know, all of you know, the flat Earth community is a very interesting community with a lot of good points, and I think we should just at least hear them
No,
out. Listen,
no, let's not let's not hear them
listen,
out.
listen. The flat Earth community has members from all across the globe. Okay? This is
That's a good-
an incredibly large organization. I think we would be remiss to ignore their points and hear them out.
Funny, Michael.
I'm kidding. We can.
I agree.
So something that's actually
Flat Earth map.
into.
How does
Can I start with something that's intellectual?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not the moderator, so you'll have to.
So the mask shit is just terrible. I understand, like, yeah, you got to keep yourself safe, but at the end of the day, you're not really keeping yourself safe from the virus. If anything, if you want to keep yourself fully safe, you want to get a gas mask.
Who the fuck let this guy on the
Yeah.
stage?
What is
Get
that?
the
You know what, we're
fuck out! Boo!
Stalin, I will fucking. Oh, I can't do anything. You'll send me in the gulag, but please stop.
Don't do that,
Who
please.
let the Russians
Stalin, please stop.
Listen. I am Fauci's strongest soldier. Okay.
Are
What?
you science
I am
itself?
Fauci's strongest soldier. All right. Unless you wear 5 masks a day and get 12 COVID shots, you are a murderer.
What?
You heard
Thank
me.
you.
You heard me. You heard
Okay,
me.
I
You
could
heard
not
me.
hear.
I
I
think
not
General
understand
agrees with
any
me.
of that.
General agrees with me. I'm sure General agrees with me. General.
Yep. I'm the biggest supporter of COVID vaccine mandates and losing your entire livelihood for a product made by a corporation with incredibly questionable backgrounds.
Could you dive into that?
Bro,
Every
but Naked,
organization is
listen, but
questionable.
Naked. Listen, if you don't want the vaccine, you can just get the new pill that is just accidentally made also by the same company who made the vaccine. You just take the pill, bro. It's so much
But
better.
Listen, dog, I'm not getting COVID pilled.
Oh no, we can get a
COVID.
suppository if you want. I think that would be. If you want that, that'd be nice. You can have it.
No, that's for people like you.
You can also
I
get
am
like
not-
horse
I am not
wormholes
Wilhelm
and shit
Title.
like that.
You see, me in general are base individuals. We actually take all of our medicine nasally.
Yeah, you're right.
Nasally.
No, I'm
You just
sorry,
fucking
bro.
use the nasal.
No, Michael, I'm more like
Snort up your nose.
Alright,
my
listen,
medicine.
Michael,
Let's
General,
smoke
that's
it.
fucking. Dude, that's fucking virgin shit. I take my medicine anally. Fuck you.
Whoa,
I take cocaine.
whoa! Listen, we got some
right,
failed
well,
roleplay by the moderator here. We have some failed roleplay by Mr. Ryan.
I am not
American
allowed to
Tribune.
eat or take medicine. Stalin has been
We have
starving me.
some fail roleplay. Come on, all right.
Alright, so we need. Alright, so I'm actually gonna have to hoist it back together anyway. Whoever supports vaccine and mask mandates, please say aye.
Are we?
I
Hold on.
said it.
I mean, I'm going to have to ask for clarification here. Are we speaking exclusively about mandates or about the vaccine and mask in general?
We'll start with mandates.
I think he means should people be like wear?
No.
Do you think it should be allowed that we all have to wear the government forces you to wear masks and get you vaccinated? That's what he's talking about.
already do that over
I'm
here.
against the government doing it. I'm against the government.
Does
I'm
anyone
against
support
everyone doing it. The
does anyone-
vaccines have been proven that they don't stop you from getting COVID or spreading it around. The masks don't even do anything, and Fauci even said that one himself.
Look now, boyo.
No, don't throw me in
about
like
getting
this.
sick. It's about getting the COVID
I had to
quickly.
pull out Copas on General. Sorry.
I
Anyways,
actually gotta say this. This is actually a very
Glenn,
important part about vaccines.
Glenn, just let me speak for like a minute here because I need to get this out. Anyway, so does anyone actually agree with the government enforcing mask or vaccine mandates?
I do.
Alright.
I don't think that mask mandates actually affect us or our freedom in any sort of or way. Like, yes, they affect our freedom, but they don't really take away your freedom. They just lower the all amount of getting affected. And vaccine mandates, they don't really deal our life in any different way. Vaccines,
Oh.
they to say the,
Alright,
say the
so-
least,
so, Vito, let me-
vaccines they don't lower the chance of us getting sick, but they lower the chance of us getting critically sick, of us dying of the sickness.
No one
And
in
that's the
here.
whole point of the
Okay,
vaccine.
are you Vito? Hold on, are you talking? Vito, can I speak?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael, please speak.
So let me say, first of all, yes, vaccines do lower the rate of you getting sick. All right. I mean, you just look at
Yes,
statistics.
they do
for that
lower it,
one.
but that's not the whole
They
point. The
absolutely
whole
do.
point is you not dying out of the vaccine, and that's the whole point of it. And that's been successfully and proven to do so. I have
Yeah.
many
Well, I
cases
mean,
of
yeah,
people
but
I have
yeah,
known to
I
have.
agree with that. I agree with that. But second of all, let me ask you a question, Vito. Do you support abortion rights, Vito?
Uh-oh.
Uh, it's not really. That's
What does
a
abortion
different
have to do
story
with
right
anything?
Do you support
now. Sorry,
abortion?
that's not.
How is
Sure,
how
yeah.
is abortion related?
The thing about
So-
abortions and
Hold on a
vaccines,
minute.
it's two
Hold on.
different things.
Let me talk.
Vaccines are. We had
Alright,
to talk
alright,
about
just,
abortion.
just
stuff.
let.
So,
Okay. Only Sword and
let me
Michael
just-
should be speaking right now. Thank you.
Let me just wait. Let me just posit a question. What happened to bodily autonomy, my comrade?
Oh my god.
What happened to bodily autonomy? All right.
Is this a reference to the other debate with the American Tribune and those?
I
other
don't
people?
recall. I have no
Yeah,
no
it
memory
is.
of that debate.
That was the last. That was the last debate we did talk about abortion.
No. This is a reference to
Yeah.
a private debate between the American Tribune and another.
Anyway,
school.
sorry. Can we continue, please?
Yeah. Please.
I would like to hear this response.
So, wait, is there anything else that's said in that conversation?
So, Vito, can you please respond if possible?
To what exactly?
What happened to bodily autonomy? Why should the government have the right to regulate what I put in my
It's not about regulating. It's about saving
It is
your
about
life.
regulating. It absolutely is about regulating.
And it's not really endangering you in any way or form. It's more saving your lives and saving the lives of other people altogether.
I agree with
It's
that.
not
I
about
agree with that. But I
regulating
also-
what you put in your body.
it is about regulating what I put in my body. And I agree that the vaccine is a good thing. Everybody should take it, but we shouldn't be forcing people.
So,
The government
It's not
Nice
about
safety.
forcing- it's more about forcing people in. It's more about forcing people who work in places, for example, aviation, who are in close contact with many people on a daily basis. That will
Well,
make you
listen,
mandate.
those
Because
private
those
companies,
people come in contact on a daily basis, and some people cannot even take the vaccine because of medical reasons. So you got to understand that by taking the vaccine, you effectively not only save your life, you save the life of other people, you protect other people, and you help other people.
okay, but that doesn't mean the government
And by
should be
mandating it in aviation companies, for example, how New Zealand did, you effectively save a lot more people, and it's
And-
really not comparable to abortion in any shape or form.
And here in Australia, in the state of Victoria, they mandated COVID vaccines to every industry.
where's
So,
this
like,
guy?
This is Sky. On my old account is my main.
I thought it was Cat. Oh my god.
This is the most.
I just
this
hit Australian place.
This is the greatest case of anime picture I've ever seen.
Like I was gonna join. It was they said like 7. I'm like, yeah, right.
So,
So yeah.
Scott Bravo person, are you Kentech or whatever the name was? Ken something. I remember he was Australian.
Wait, what?
Are you Kentech?
What? No.
No,
No.
he's Skyfall.
Sky.
I
Skyfall
don't-
Bravo.
I have not.
Anime production.
All right,
Sky
can
Blue.
we? I'd like
Yeah,
to
okay,
personally.
Yeah. Can we get back?
I'd like to hear general thoughts on this. I'd like to hear general thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, my son.
My
yeah.
fucking thoughts on it.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh,
Go ahead.
let's talk about my opinions on mandates and vaccines and masks. All right, I have some good opinions on this one. All right. Let's start with mandates. All right, the government shouldn't be mandating you to take anything. All right, nothing. I don't care what they say. I don't care if it's in my best interest. I don't give a flying fuck. All right, they can fuck off. Especially this. All right, let me explain this all to you. The vaccines are products made by corporations who have an incredibly shady and questionable past of giving people terrible products. I don't know if you guys know with Pfizer, they were literally released talc powder that gives women fucking cancer. And now we're supposed to trust these guys at face value when they have actively sought to prevent themselves from lawsuits, from side effects and such, have refused to release their data, and originally wanted 75 years to release their vaccine data, despite the fact releasing it would be incredibly helpful for everyone and be transparent, which they should be. They refused to release that, and a judge had to order them to release it in a year because they wanted 75 years. To me, all right, these are corporations who make this, corporations who do not give a fuck about any of you. All right. And the government's just doing them a favor by forcing everyone to take their products, and they get paid for this, by the way. So, like, you know, I'm saying that there needs to be some questions asked, and I'm saying that nothing should be mandated until these companies and corporations are truly transparent with the products they're making us take.
No,
That's
not
my
until.
opinion.
Not
Can
until.
I-
There shouldn't be a
Yeah,
mandate.
not even until.
I
No one should be forced
interrupt
to anyways. But you certainly shouldn't be when these companies are being incredibly shady with their vaccine data, their practices. And I also like to mention the typical development stage for any drug is at least 10 years. Okay, this one only took 1. All right, so you know, I'm just saying. And if they would have released, if
That's
they
fair.
would have tested the vaccine properly, they would have known about the heart problems. I'm not saying you're going to get the heart problems, but they would have known about that before. It should have been disclosed. And the fact they didn't know that, they only found that out halfway through, just tells me they barely tested this shit. But what do I know, right?
What do you know? What do you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
And
you
I
are.
would also like to point out, despite 70% of the population being vaccinated, we almost had 900,000 coronavirus cases in a day. The max we had before people were vaccinated was only like 300,000.
Wait, hold on.
Laughing so hard.
Good.
Can we stop inviting people?
Yeah, who?
Next game, if I remember correct, was timed out for ban evasion, or no, arrest evasion and all that shit. Stop moving people up to the fucking podium.
Yeah, who is doing this?
Stalin,
It's
cunt.
Yeah, Sword. I better get senior admin after this. Holy shit, I better get it.
So this is off topic, but can I
Ryan,
ask
I've
this
been
for
working on
everybody?
it.
Yeah, sure. Ask.
I'm gonna ask.
everybody put on your
Can
masks.
everybody- My God, shut the fuck up. Can everybody calm down and not yell?
No.
Let's have a civil discussion.
That's what makes this interesting.
Still half
Makes me want to
asleep
go
and
drink a
yell.
cup of bleach near me.
This is why.
Make sure you mix it with ammonia first. It makes it taste better.
Gee.
This is exactly why I don't put debates on the American Tribune. Holy shit.
Okay,
Fellas, all right,
dude.
fellas. Let's steer this back.
All right, so
Ryan,
let's
what's
steer this
the-
back. Okay, so so we got mandates out of the way. What about vaccines and masks in general? What are your opinions on this, everyone?
I am
They
very
don't
pro
work.
vaccine. I'm very pro mask. I think that everybody who has the ability to should get the vaccine and should mask up if they. Well, I think either works, but I think they should get the vaccine. I think it's a very valuable tool, and as long as you yourself, and your medical professional don't think you're gonna, get a adverse side effect, you should definitely get the vaccine.
Because of the situation that I
And
stand
listen,
in.
all I can say, I have 3 vaccine shots, and all I can say is I love Joe Biden and I love the Democratic Party. Every time I get the vaccine shot, I just like the Democratic Party more and more. It's a very interesting correlation, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, the only
Right.
really
Heard of a single case where a person has actually had any large negative effects from the vaccine?
No, now
Like, for
that's
example-
bullshit. That's bullshit. Dude.
Yes, that is exactly bullshit. There
No,
hasn't
no,
been any
we're
proof
not
that
here
it
to.
causes any bad
Yeah,
negative
Okay, you
effects.
you can say the vaccine is good without pulling shit out of your ass. Okay, there have absolutely been
okay,
adverse.
so I can
effects.
actually testify that after every single vaccine shot, I had at least a day of fatigue, and after my second.
Yes, that's normal though. That's
Yeah,
how
but
the vaccine works.
The funniest part to me, at least, is after my second vaccine shot, I suddenly had like extreme suicidal and depressive thoughts, which is.
Yeah, that's because the Biden thingies didn't work.
Yeah.
They're supposed to make you vote for Joe Biden. They didn't work.
Yeah, they just.
It might be.
they
Didn't
just
turn on the Bluetooth on the chip.
Yeah, I
that's
forgot to
probably-
turn on the. That's my bad. I'll call
the
customer
Bluetooth.
support.
Instead
Aaron, I
going
got a
to the-
question.
Oh yeah, sure.
Did you join ROD when you took that
I already
vaccine?
was in ROD. Yep.
That's why. That is exactly why you had those thoughts.
No,
Yeah, Arudie's actually a Bluetooth
Because you're
transmitter.
here. Yeah. No, I
You
think
just it's just like wires your brain that like, yeah, I don't think I just don't want to live anymore.
I mean,
No,
it
but
is
listen,
also important
Vito.
to note that during this point in my life, the American Tribune was not yet at 100 subscribers. So
Okay, shut up. Shut up. All right, let's get. Okay, can we? Can I continue?
Yeah,
We've
Ryan.
done
When you do
obviously.
segues like that, you gotta like make it more smooth.
Okay, listen, Vito.
You gotta do proper segues.
Listen, Vito. All right. The CDC, which I'm pretty sure you know what the CDC is, has admitted there have been adverse effects to the vaccine. I'm here to say the vaccine's good. That doesn't mean I'm saying the vaccine has no negative side effects for anyone. I'm saying that it's worth a shot. Ah, get it. Worth a shot. Get
please
it.
shut the fuck
No.
up and keep going.
Get it, guys. Do you get the joke?
Please keep going. Please
No.
keep going.
Do you get the joke?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, the
Peace.
No, we
CDC has
don't.
admitted that, especially like in certain children, that there have been heart issues with taking this vaccine. It was both Pfizer and Moderna. Sorry, I had a brain for it. Anyway, so what do you say to that, Mr. Vito?
Well, there's not really any real correlation. Like, you think about it, the effects from
buddy.
the
There is a
sickness can be
correlation. There is a
much
correlation.
larger. Think about it, the effects of the actually getting sick are much larger than any effect that a vaccine could actually cause.
Can
Because
I
when
say
you think
something?
about it, the coronavirus can realistically affect your lungs in a way that could be detrimental for your whole life. So when you think about it, those small effects from the vaccine are completely non-existent compared to what the coronavirus can do.
May I say something?
Sure.
Anyone in this call
Go
right now,
ahead.
their chances of dying of fucking COVID are zero. Most of you will not die of
Actually,
COVID if you
okay,
get it.
so the chances of dying from something
Look,
like
you
that
will
is
not die,
zero.
but I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give an
Actually,
example with
Like, let's
myself.
say cancer, high blood pressure, or are really fucking fat. If
I'm
the
gonna
answer
give
is
you an
yes, I'm
example
gonna
with
get the
myself.
Yo, who the fuck is renaming General?
yeah. Who is renaming me,
Yeah,
bro?
yeah.
Like, cringe as
Who's
fuck.
renaming
Cringe.
you?
Anyway, yes, as I
Oh,
said,
wait.
I'm
Rome
gonna
is
give
here.
an
Rome is
example with
here.
myself.
Hey,
I
Rome.
have gone through. Yeah,
Hey, Rome. What are your thoughts on vaccines and masks?
Is that Rome?
Yep, that's Rome.
That's not Rome.
That's Rome.
that's Rome.
Yep, that's Rome.
That isn't Rome.
Wait, that's not wait.
I'm not wrong, man.
That isn't Rome.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's
Listen, I just like
Marcus.
before we
That's
continue,
Marcus.
I just like to give a word to our sponsor, Marlboro Cigarette.
Oh, they're FDA approved. They're FDA approved.
Marlboro Cigarettes, FDA
I don't think
approved.
that's a, I don't think that's
FDA
a
approved.
sponsor. The only
Marlboro
sponsor is the
Cigarettes,
Chad
FDA
state
approved.
of Delon.
Alright, I am back.
Have
So you don't want
you?
to be back.
Are you're back? But do you have yourself a fresh pack of Marlboro cigarettes?
No, I don't.
Fuck off.
Someone fucking kicked me. Like I was trying to get my point in
My
and I
head
got
actually
kicked. I'm like,
fucking
well,
hurts.
fuck.
You know, like,
Well, you know what'll help with that?
This is
A
the time
fresh
to end
pack
this
of
soon.
Marlboro cigarettes.
actually,
You know what will help that actually? A tub of bleach.
And,
That
Yeah,
really fucking
probably.
helps. Stalin, what did you say?
Me.
Stalin, I think you're too short.
I think we should not let Vito back on the stage.
Maybe.
Shit, by the way.
We should stop putting people on the stage.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you mean? You're the one putting people on the stage.
I'm not the one putting
I'm
people
not
on the
talking
stage,
to you. I'm
actually.
talking to Stalin.
Stalin.
I don't.
Damn it.
Okay, I think we can all agree that I deserve senior admin after this debate. I think we can all agree.
You deserve to.
I think I should be president.
You deserve to
Yeah,
go to be deployed to Iraq immediately.
I need to go
okay,
back
I
to
was
Russia.
actually going to run for president with AB as my VP, but AB like ghosted me for 3 days, and then on the day before the presidential election, he just DM'd me, "Oh, I'm running with ARO." Like words
fuck
cannot
is AB?
express like how.
What's actually what?
Yeah, I know my head.
What is
So
the
then,
election looking like right now?
I have no idea. I don't care anymore. But okay. Would anyone like to give any closing thoughts to that, or should we move on to our next topic?
Move on.
Move on.
Too many
Move.
fucking.
Yeah, hold on, my head hurts. I just need a moment to recuperate.
You need some.
In the meantime, let's let Sky give his thoughts on COVID and vaccine mandates, because I don't think he's really talked about the mandate thing yet.
Yeah, I'd like to again thank our sponsor, Marlboro Cigarettes, and the FDA for approving them.
We are not sponsored by them.
We
We
are sponsored by them.
Yes, we are. We are.
Marlboro
No document.
Cigarettes.
We are.
We don't get fucking sued.
You unite. Listen, bro. All right. You want to know how you beat COVID? You just have to smoke. All right. It kills the
fucking-
COVID in your lungs.
We're gonna
Don't
get
take that
copyright
seriously,
strike
I'm
by
not
the end of this.
If there are
Like,
two
we
things
want-
for
Copyright strike.
advertising to, you have to write with a and
As soon
you
as
have
this
to
video
write
goes
with
up, I
R,
already.
not with S.
All right.
Fuck was that?
Anyways, so before we move on to our next topic, I would like to give a word from our sponsor, which happens to be hosting this debate, the American Tribune.
Cigarettes.
Marlboro Cigarettes.
All right, I'm about to pull out.
I'd like to thank the brave Mujahideen fighters.
All right.
What?
The Copus gun has been shot. And
Y'all need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I need to say this right before he gets out, Walker. Anyways, so the American Tribune is a wonderful political YouTube channel that I host for. It would be very much appreciated if you could check it out, and just give us a sub and join our Discord if you like it. Anyways, back to the debate. So our next topic of discussion is, what is everyone's opinion on gun rights
I
in the
not
US?
sure. Don't
Ban all guns. All guns should be
Not in the US,
prohibited
it's
and
just in
banned. That's all.
Why?
We've got no gun rights.
I can expect like a reaction by someone.
Yeah, just
It's
go on.
kind of unexpected.
So
After all the streaming, that's totally chill right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's everyone's opinion on gun rights? Come on, let's get it out.
I mean,
Listen, bro. The government can own a fucking nuke. I should be allowed to own a fucking nuke. All right, that's my
Listen,
opinion on
fellas, I've been silenced. Okay, it took me like a good 12 seconds to unmute myself.
No,
I've
I
been
was the one who
silenced, but
unmuted you.
I've returned.
I was the one who unmuted
You will not silence
Anyway,
the people.
so yeah,
You're
I
going to
believe
start a
that
dialogue. Fuck, my microphone broke. Okay, hold on. Microphone dropped. I am back. Listen, me and General are going to start a dialogue. Okay?
yeah.
And General's not here.
what's up. Sorry, me and this retard are fucking arguing in the
Jesus
Capitol right now.
fucking
He's getting
Christ, General.
distracted by that.
General. Remember, no
What's up?
slurs. Yeah.
Slur!
Yeah, that's included. It's a slur against mentally disabled people, General.
Oh,
So,
God, I fucking liberals. I hate
and
them. I really do.
give my opinion or nah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sky, can you please
Can
give
not
your
get
opinion?
fucking
Sky,
muted?
Sky, can you please give your opinion?
I mean, over here we haven't had like proper gun rights like America does ever since the Port Arthur shooting. But like, my opinion is let them have their guns. I don't really care because at the end of the day, it's the person that kills the person, not the gun.
Yo, this is the most base Australian ever heard. Hello? Base department?
Okay, anyway, so
Anybody
But
shut
it's
the fuck
usually
up?
a gun that is used to kill a person.
It's really for listeners or completely banned, man.
I'm in favor of mandatory
That's a
gun
base
ownership.
German.
I think every adult who is a capable mind should be required to own a firearm.
I mean, why?
Why not?
Okay, anyways,
Okay,
would anyone else
I'm
like to
hopping
give-
out. Get a headache. I'm hopping out.
No, but seriously, I do agree with free ownership of weapons. I feel like
Okay, we're gonna have to have
it's
a
just
we're gonna have a pretty heavy talk about debates should be hosted and moderated after this. But for now, I'm gonna call it a day. Thank you for everyone to showing up, and I will now be ending the recording